Hello, welcome to the Cut Night channel. My name is Shane, and this is another segment of Tarot the News, where we practice the spiritual concept of the mirror by reading a news article, usually to do with tech or science, in order to extract messages, spiritual wisdom from within. Because the mirror principle in spirituality states that everything outside of us is a reflection of everything within us. It's a very mind-bending principle. And when you realize just how much meaning everything really has, well, life becomes a lot more interesting. At least in my opinion. So, that's what these videos are about, and today, this is the article I have found. I haven't read it yet, just the title. Scientists find exotic particles that resist quantum errors. Quantum physics is all the rage in the spiritual community as well, so I thought this would be a really good one just based on the title, and also it sounds really interesting. I've never heard of such things before. So, to start off on the pre-shuffle, we got the Queen of Wands. So we've got this really confident, maternal, feminine figure here. Very powerful creator. And also the archetype of the heart. Yeah, so it's a very feminine, nurturing, but like passionate and creative energy coming from the heart. I'm interested to see how that relates, so let's get started with this first section here. Okay. Researchers. Oh, sorry. Here, I'm going to keep these cards out so I don't shuffle them back into the deck there. Okay. Researchers at Israel's Weizmann Institute of Science have published evidence in Nature for the existence of non-abelian anions within bilayer graphene, marking a significant advance in the quest to build fault-tolerant quantum computers. The study, led by Dr. Yuval Ronen, sorry if I butchered that name, and co-authored by Dr. Jaehoon Kim, sorry if I butchered that name, and Himanshu Dev, and that one, offers fresh proof of these elusive particles which store quantum information in a way that makes them inherently resistant to the environmental noise plaguing today's quantum machines. Interesting. Unlike ordinary particles that fall into two categories, bosons and fermions, anions exist only in two-dimensional systems under extreme conditions, temperatures near absolute zero, and strong magnetic fields. Non-abelian anions possess a unique property where exchanging their positions alters not just a phase, but the entire shape of their collective wave function, effectively encoding information in the system's topological structure rather than in individual particles. Interesting. Now, half of what I just read in that last paragraph, I don't know what it means. I really don't. I have some intuitions about it, but I am no expert in this field. But it all sounds very interesting, and what I gathered from this is that there is a new type of particle, or maybe not a new type of particle, maybe one we've been aware of, but it's an unexpected type of particle that can be used in order to make quantum computing more resistant and efficient. To protect it from the environment, to prevent the environment from interfering with its internal mechanisms. Which is very interesting because, what is more internal than the heart, right? When we often refer to the core of things, we say the heart of it, right? So, bam, the heart. The heart of this quantum system. And the Queen of Wands here, I wouldn't say this queen is typically seen as like a nurturing queen. She's more of like an independent, like, I can do whatever I need to do to get things done kind of energy. But maybe that's the point. Maybe that is the point. She's like the quantum computing system in and of itself, capable of creating any situation, scenario, thing needed to get the job done, right? But it's taking place in the heart. So there's definitely an upgrade here. There's some kind of upgrade coming through. That's the message. There are new exotic particles, and if we extrapolate that to a spiritual message, we can say maybe new exotic feelings or internal structures within our mind and our heart that are more fault tolerant and resistant to the environment. allowing us to perform better. Yes, that is the message. Oh, I love that. Okay, so before I go any further, I'm going to pull a couple more cards on this section here. What else can we know about this upgrade spirit? This is something that was promised. It's like, to go super woo-woo here, it is, you could think of it as something that was preordained, right? Something that before you were even incarnated into this vessel that you were currently in was agreed upon, right? You have the ring. This is a promise. And also, the mother underneath that. So once again, feminine energy, nurturing energy, right? The heart, the ring, the mother. Yeah. Feminine energy often represents things that are unknown or hidden, right? Not so obvious. Oh, okay. I guess we'll take these three. Alright, Judgment. This came out of my last reading. Yeah, so North Node energy, inner calling, right? Yeah, so of course, if your operating system is getting an upgrade, right, your body, your internals, you are going to have a lot more success and victory. Six of Wands. This is public victory, public recognition of the strides you have made. Page of Cups, possibilities. Yeah, new possibilities are opening up as a result of this upgrade. Of course. Of course they are. Because you're upgraded. So that means you can do more. And be more efficient about it. Yeah, you've got your hand on the nectar of something, right? There's more value, more sweetness in this next chapter for you. Alright, I think that's good here. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles, right? New adventures, new possibilities. So, yeah, not only are you yourself internally being upgraded, it's probably been a very long process that was a lot of hard work, right? It's not just like, you know, the universe being like, okay, and you are now 1,000% better than you were before. Whatever that means. Better, right? But no, this is a result of the work that you have done by following your calling. Whatever that means for you, your purpose, your guiding light, right? You heard the call, and you have been listening, and you have been making strides towards it, and as a result, you've had to do a lot of hard work. You've had to recreate yourself, right? You've had to put a lot of work into changing your, maybe even your environment, right? But yourself internally and the things around you externally, so that they line up to put you into this very confident, creative, I can do whatever needs to be done in order to move forward, in order to live the life that I desire. Yeah, in order to do these quantum calculations, right? These quantum computations. Okay, let's keep going. Well, that's a fun image. It's kind of like a toroidal structure, right? It's this shape that kind of collapses back in on itself and forever just kind of like keeps doing this, right? Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, very cool. Measuring the unmeasurable. Wow, I love that title. Yeah, so it's like you are, yeah, judgment. What you have done, the work you have done, is being judged, and it looks like a very favorable judgment is being made on this. It seems like you have done a lot of work, especially in the heart space. You've done a lot of nurturing yourself and reaching for the sweeter things in life, right? The things you desire. You've made yourself a lot of promises, and you've stuck fast to them. And as a result, you have given yourself more new opportunities, possibilities, right? Page of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. This is like, you know, this is someone new, or maybe a younger person, if it's not someone new, but bringing you this new opportunity, right? It's something tangible. The third quarter moon could be significant. If you're seeing this around the time I uploaded this, we have a third quarter moon coming up on January 10th, 2026. But yeah, so very cool. Very, very cool energy here. I'm going to leave this ace out as well. Alright, so measuring the unmeasurable. The Wiseman team used bilayer graphene 2-atom-thin carbon layers arranged in a honeycomb lattice to create a Fabry-Perot interferometer, an experimental setup inspired by a 19th century optics configuration. By creating a looped path, the ring, where one anion's wave encircles an island containing another anion's and a magnetic field. The researchers observed interference patterns in electrical resistance that revealed the particle's properties. The team measured a fractional electron with an even denominator, finding a wave corresponding to half of an electron's charge orbiting the island. By varying the electron density within the island and examining changes to the interference pattern, they deduced that particles inside carried 1/4 of an electron's charge, precisely what theory predicts for non-abelian anions. These findings align with earlier tunneling experiments conducted in Professor Moti Heiblem's laboratory at Weizmann. Yeah. So very specific. I mean, that's insane, right? 2-atom thin carbon layer. I can't even trying to imagine how this actually played out in a laboratory, the very fine-tuned, specially developed instruments that have to be used and calibrated in such a way in order to accomplish this. Just mind-blowing. And the fact that humans can work with things on such microscopic levels, right? It's just insane. But yeah, this is describing how they were able to confirm this idea that these particles can be used to improve the defenses of these quantum computing machines, right? So yeah, I mean, this message is obvious to me as well. You had to go deep within yourself, deep within the heart. You had to touch the core of yourself, the nectar, right, of yourself, all the way down to the very tiniest level to confirm who you are to yourself. Maybe before you had all these layers of who you thought you were and what you thought you should be doing, and maybe it didn't feel fulfilling, right? But it's you had to do the work, King of Swords, to cut through all of those layers to get down to the very tiniest aspects of yourself in order to really confirm who you are to yourself. It's that, like I was saying, that toroidal structure. It's you're going deep within to the core of yourself and then coming back out. And now that you're out, you're in this new cycle where everything is different now. Now you know what your passion is, what your purpose is, what your calling is. You're very confident about it. And you know that you're going to be victorious with all of the new opportunities that are entering your life. I love this reading so far. This is fantastic. Energy. Yeah, you have reinvented yourself. I am speaking to a collective of people who have reinvented themselves in the 9 year that we just went through, 2025, right? And now we're in the 1 year, 2026. A new beginning, a new identity, a more intimate connection to what we know is meant for us. And the ability to see the meaning within things, right? So, let's go. I believe this is probably the last section here. Yes. Okay. Path to reliable quantum computing. Yeah. You are on a path of reliable advancement and progress. And the realm of quantum computing is all about being able to do things on multiple different levels and see multiple different outcomes at the same time. This is a whole other dimension of reality that has opened up here, right? Which is very exciting. Okay, so let me read this. The discovery builds on recent progress in topological quantum computing. In 2023, Google Quantum AI and Quantinuum separately demonstrated braiding of non-abelian anions using superconducting and trapped ion quantum processors. However, the Weizmann work represents a critical step toward observing these particles in solid-state materials where they occur naturally under fractional quantum Hall conditions. That is interesting. I am going to dig a little bit more into this phrase here because I've never heard it and it sounds really cool. So we'll just see what the AI summary says, if it'll see. Fractional quantum Hall effect occurs under specific conditions in a two-dimensional electron system subject to strong magnetic fields, so the condition they were measuring things in, and low temperatures. This effect is characterized by quantized plateaus in Hall conductance at fractional values, where the electron gas forms a collective liquid state with fractionally charged quasi-particles. Oh man, this lingo it's fire. I mean, yeah, but very hard to wrap your head around for sure. So I'm thinking they're using the word Hall. It must mean something specific because we have Hall conductance here. So maybe we need to dig one layer deeper, just one more. Just one. Hall conductance refers to the quantized electrical conductance observed in two-dimensional electron systems under strong magnetic fields, where it takes on precise values that are integer or fractional multiples of a fundamental constant. This phenomenon is crucial for defining electrical resistance standards and has significant implications in quantum physics. Interesting. Okay, so it's like a fractal of a fundamental constant. Precise values that are integer or fractional multiples of a fundamental constant. Yeah, so it's a reflection of this fundamental constant that creates this like conductance of some kind. Two-dimensional electron systems, yeah. That's so interesting. Okay, let's get back to the article. In non-abelian anions, information about the order of exchanges is stored not locally but in the wave function of the entire system. Oh. Not locally but in the wave function of the entire system. So it's almost like this wave of energy moving through the entire system that contains information about the entire system. That's a mindfuck, right? Okay. This non-local storage makes the systems topological, meaning they preserve essential properties even when subjected to local disturbances. A key requirement for building quantum computers that don't lose information to environmental interference. The next challenge, according to Ronan, is to directly observe the memory of non-abelian anion systems by measuring how different orders of particle exchanges leave unique signatures in the wave function. Success would bring researchers closer to developing fault-tolerant quantum computers needed to solve problems beyond the reach of classical machines. Wow. So, really huge discovery, it seems like, for the quantum computing world. Absolutely amazing. Now, as this reflects in the collective that this message is for, yeah, I mean, the title says it all. Path to reliable quantum computing. This is a path to a reliable upgrade of your system, of you, in order to perform at a higher level, in order to do things that you like to do at a higher level. And I'm not talking about the grind set, right? I'm not talking about the, go out there and work your life away just to make money so you can have a big house. No. This is about things that actually bring you true happiness and joy beyond just superficial things like money and material things. And I'm not saying that those things are bad. If you like having those things, well then, good. You value those things and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's more to life than just, cars, monies, hoes, right? It's it's more than that. There are deeper things, right? Deeper things. Things that light you up inside from your core, that resonate with you. And that's what I'm talking about. You are on an upgrade path which will bring you not only closer to the things that you truly want in your life, but allow you to interact with them and feel them on a very deep level, which is absolutely fantastic. I really don't think there's much else that needs to be said about this, but I'm going to pull just a couple more cards for a closing message here, just to round us out. Let's see, Spirit, what else do we need to know about this very exciting new path, this new cycle that we have found ourselves in. The Empress, rebirth. I told you, you reinvented yourself. Right? Rebirth. Yeah. This is a complete recreation of you as a person. It's like you're going to have to reintroduce yourself to the world. And you're going to have to say, look, I discovered that I have these exotic particles within me that defend me from all the negative energy in the environment. That allow me to retain the memory of everything that I have done and all the work that I have done and the progress I have made and who I am. Even when the environment tries to tell me otherwise or tries to damage me. The environment I'm talking about can be people, places, things, anything. Anything outside of self, right? Anything that happens to you, anything said to you, any experience that you perceive. It's like those things, yeah, they still happen, right? We still have to deal with life. We still have to live life, and there's ups and downs, always. But now that you have reinvented yourself, you are more fault tolerant, you are more capable of living at this higher level. And yeah, it's a massive upgrade from the very core of yourself all the way flowing out. Like that toroid, right? Going from the very center out and then back and in again and then out again and creating a next cycle and the next cycle and the next cycle. And it's like each cycle is an upgrade. It's an upgrade, it's an upgrade, it's an upgrade. As long as you remain in touch with this inner part of yourself, this inner calling, and you're not afraid to reinvent yourself when necessary, right? To have the wisdom to know when a cycle has ended and when it's time to change, because that is life, right? We are creators, being created and creating reality at the same time. So, what is creation? Destruction and renewal. It's a cycle of destruction and renewal. It's change. Life is change. It's dynamic. We cannot be afraid of change. And the people I'm talking to already know that. We've learned that lesson. And we have rebuilt our core from the inside out based on that lesson. Right? The Empress. Yes. I think that's honestly the best card to end this reading in. Nothing else is popping out. So I'm going to stop there. I do want to see what's on the bottom, just because the Chariot, yeah, determination. Yeah, the Chariot and the Empress. Two extraordinarily amazing cards to end this reading on. So there you go. You are going to be successful in your determination as long as you show up. That's all you have to do is show up. You don't have to be perfect. Your work doesn't have to be perfect. The execution doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to show up and learn from your mistakes and reflect on those mistakes so that you can integrate them and do better next time. Slow and steady, patient, calm, from the heart, do your best. That is all that needs to be done. Alright. Very beautiful message today. Thank you, Spirit, for bringing this through today and allowing me to share this with the collective. Thank you, viewer, for being here to receive this message today. If you're interested in booking a personal reading with me, links in the description. Yeah, and as always, take care of yourselves. Keep your heart open. Bye.